we are back on the road. That's insane. The engine light has come back on.
More pastry, of course. Today is the day. I'm about to set back off on the trip. I'm heading to Switzerland today and I'm feeling really nervous actually. I don't know why. I've kind of lost that confidence that I built up from riding every single day around France. But also super excited. Woke up really early this morning. My energy levels are back. I'm running on adrenaline, I guess, and we are packed and ready to go. I'm going to stop off at the coffee shop, grab a coffee, upload a vlog, and then get back on the road towards Switzerland. Stop at Decathlon, grab a ground mat, hopefully, fingers crossed, and try and fit that in somewhere on the bike. It's really packed quite tight right now. Alright, we are back on the road. We're leaving Morzine now. I just stopped off for one more coffee before leaving at a place called Salide. It is honestly some of the best coffee I've ever had, so heads up to those guys and a shout out to those guys. If you are ever in Morzine, pop by for a coffee. And now I'm heading towards Switzerland. The first stop is going to be Decathlon to grab myself a ground mat, and then I'm going on to the Grimsel Pass. Pass, however you want to call it. That's just my crazy accent going all over the place. But yeah, I haven't yet booked a campsite. I'm planning on doing that on the way. I also want to check the weather before I do, because yesterday it was saying very bad thunderstorms and today it's just saying showers. So if it's just showers, I have no issue riding in that. If it's going to be torrential rain like we had a few days ago, I don't particularly want to find myself stuck on the road in that kind of weather, so I might end up getting an Airbnb. We'll see as I get closer and check the weather. But yeah, I've been feeling really nervous this morning about getting back on the road, and I don't know whether that's because I've not ridden now for a week, or whether it's because I'm heading out into unknown territories for myself. Switzerland, Italy, and then down into Croatia, Slovenia. France feels very safe. It's not far from home, whereas now I'm going further and further away. It just feels a little bit more edgy for some reason, and I just had a really nice chat with this guy outside the cafe before leaving, and he was basically asking me where I was going and how long I'm here for, and basically said just to keep on going, don't go back, which I wish I could do. That would be the dream, of course, but I do have limited time here and I can't stay out here forever, so I do need to keep an eye on the time and plan around my time that I've got. And I think that's something to bear in mind. I think flexibility is huge. You definitely have to have flexibility, but too much flexibility can kind of make you, question where you actually want to go, and I think you could end up kind of getting a bit lost with things. So I think definitely having a rough plan is essential, and then flexibility around that rough plan is obviously also essential, but not too much of it when it comes to the actual planning of the trip. So that's my morning chat, and now I'm going to focus on getting back on this bike, getting back used to riding around these roads, and enjoying the breeze in my hair, or at least what's left of it now I've had it cut. Right, we have got a bit of a problem. The engine light has come back on. What the fuck is going on with this bike? It's been so good until now, and I've definitely not noticed any issues with it since riding it this morning, but yeah, the engine light's just come back on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop off shortly, grab a snack because I'm getting hungry already, grab some more fuel and turn it on and off a few times after riding it, see if it goes off, because oftentimes I think a minor fault it does turn itself off after a few rides, and if not then I'm going to have to try and find a Royal Enfield dealership out here somewhere to take a look at it, because that is unfortunate. Hopefully it's not the end of this trip. Not to sound dramatic, but I've got, you know, another 4,000 miles at least planned out, and I don't really want to do that with the engine light on, so getting that sorted out would really put my mind at ease. Let's see if it goes off. Got some food, more pastry of course. The engine light's still on, so what I'm going to do is, once I stop properly today, is disconnect the heated grips altogether and just see what happens, because in the past it has been that, we think, not 100% sure, but that has been the problem in the past 2 or 3 times, and hopefully that fixes it. I don't think it's the engine feels fine, it feels like it's running fine, but we'll see. Anyway, today is definitely a day of getting used to being back on the bike, slowing down again. I feel like this morning I was very excited, a little bit nervous, and just a bit unsure of the next steps of this trip. Obviously it's all going to be fine, but right now I just need to eat some food. I'm feeling a little bit hungry, and yeah, obviously a little bit unsure about this engine light situation, so we'll go from here, see how it goes, go to Decathlon, get a ground mat and make sure that I'm comfortable tonight for camping out. Right guys, we are 20 meters away from Switzerland, and I just pulled over again, and would you look at that, the engine light is gone. We're back on the road! God, that feels good. It's kind of a small stress and distraction on my mind today that I was going to have to take it to a dealership, but we are all good. On to Switzerland we go. Obviously still a cause for slight concern, but I'm just super thankful that it has gone off. And I can now say we are in Switzerland, guys. Welcome to Switzerland. Yeah! God, that feels good. It's been quite the distraction this morning, to be honest. I've kind of been a bit in my head about it and the engine light situation. But now that's gone, it's one less thing to worry about, one less thing to think about. Now I can just kind of focus on settling back into the journey and focus on slowing down again, because I find that even with the vlogging right now, I'm having to remember, you know, how I did it last week, and it's only a week ago, but having had a whole week off, it feels like it was years ago, to be honest. So yeah, kind of settling back into the flow of both riding and doing the vlog is kind of on the agenda for today, and obviously also enjoying the ride. I just really want to take it easy and not be rushing whatsoever. And I've only got 3 hours now to get to Grimsel Pass after I get to Decathlon, so I've got plenty of time today just to chill out, and that should mean that I arrive for around 4 or 5 PM, which is the perfect time to stop. And then tomorrow, obviously, that gives me plenty of time to explore the passes without rushing around. I've now got a fly right in my eye, which is great. I don't have much to say right now, but the view is unreal. Also, these bridges are unreal. I mean, we're kind of on raised roads here, and look at that, wow. So this is just the beginning of Switzerland. I'm 15 minutes away from Decathlon. I guess it's down on in the valley down there. And it's taken me a good 2 hours to resettle into this kind of journey today. I'll be honest, I was kind of all over the place this morning. My nerves were up, my excitement was up, but also my concentration was slightly off. And it's quite crazy. I've only had 1 week off riding, but my confidence on these roads kind of went down, you know? Now I'm feeling good again, but the first hour or so I was kind of very cautious about riding on these roads again, and I'll be honest, my arse is numb already, and I've only been riding for an hour, which is crazy because by the end of last week I could ride for about 5 or 6 hours continuously and still be comfortable. So yeah, it's pretty mad how 1 week off has had this effect, you know. Ooh, it's a beautiful view. Decathlon, of course. I may as well get them to sponsor me. If anyone knows who can do that, put them in touch. But yeah, I just bought myself a ground mat. It cost me £50. It's quite expensive, but it's also the smallest one they do. It blows up by mouth, deflates to this size, so it's perfect for my trip right now. Don't know why I didn't bring one with me, but it cost me 50 quid, and I think it's going to really help me sleep. And yeah, it's been a really frantic morning. I've been kind of all over the place mentally. I've kind of been a bit stressed about the engine light and just a bit nervous about today, to be honest. I don't know why. I'm fine now, but yeah, it's been quite a morning and I've been all unfocused, a bit all over the place. So I haven't really been vlogging much and focusing more on just riding and getting back into the rhythm of the bike. I think also vlogging is going to take me a bit of time to get back into now. It's crazy after a week off kind of how much can change. So yeah, I thought I would just stop here at the services, get myself a coffee, give myself half an hour to calm down, chill out. I'm going to book a campsite now. There's a campsite around the corner from Grimsel Pass, which is where I'm going to now. I'm planning on stopping before the passes, and then tomorrow I will just map out the whole route going around. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we'll see what happens with that. I want to try and enjoy this part of the ride and not ride in the rain because, you know, I'm fine riding in the rain, but when I'm trying to enjoy it as well, it's just a bit more difficult, and I don't want to ride through all the passes in rain and thunderstorms. So we will see what happens tomorrow and tonight. But for now, I'm going to sit down, enjoy my coffee, and then get back on the road and try and film some as well. I'll try my best. But today is definitely a day of getting back into the rhythm for me right now. It very much feels like day one, which is weird. Right, about to get back off. I cannot stress enough how important it is to stay hydrated because it's so hot out here. It's insanely hot. I mean, I can barely sit on the seat right now, it's so hot. Okay, now I'm really starting to find my swing again, and look at this view. Wow. Honestly, today has been beautiful the whole way. I just haven't had the mental capacity to be filming and vlogging, but now I'm coming back. It's coming back to me. Look at that waterfall over there. Wow. It's so green here. So green. Wow. And from looking at those mountains in front of me, given the amount of snow on top, they are probably some of the highest mountains I've seen on this trip so far. And I'm very excited to head up into them, to get a bit cooler, to be honest, because I think today is by far one of the hottest days I've travelled yet. There's barely any wind, and even if there is wind, it's very warm wind. I think the wind today is about 5 miles per hour on the forecast. So it's very, very still. And that just makes it all that much more hotter.
I'm also currently in this valley between all the mountains, so it's a bit warmer than what I was kind of experiencing in Morzine, obviously halfway up the mountain. But the Enfield is doing a great job. You know, my biggest worry on this trip was going to be, would this thing be okay in, you know, extreme heat? And obviously I know that it's fine in India, but for some reason obviously it's definitely always going to be a worry. It's like, it's an air-cooled engine. When it's 34, 35 degrees and there's no wind, even when you're riding around, it barely cools you down. So the engine must be getting super hot, but it seems to be doing fine. No more engine light. I'm happy, feeling much better now. Look at this tractor. Wow, what the hell does that do? That's a very interesting looking tractor. So I've just found this really cool bike shop on the side of the road just before I hit the mountains, and I thought I may as well get myself a net in case I ever want to take some clothes off. I can just net them onto the back seat. Good idea. Don't know why I haven't done that already. It's very cool in here. Yeah. Just bought a little net and some visor cleaner to get me by. Not 100% necessary, but I also think just having that net there on the seat means that I can always put a jumper there, anything I want there, bottle in there now, keep it in the shade. And yeah, it's just handy to have that. I don't know why I haven't brought one with me, to be honest. I don't know how well you can see that sign, but there's a couple of the passes. You got Furka Pass, Grimsel Pass as well, New Fenen Pass as well. There's about 5 or 6, I believe, that I've kind of got roughly mapped out that I found online on different recommendations. And that's where we're heading. We're not far away now, about 45 minutes. It's been a difficult day today, so I'm not sure if this will be vlog worthy, but it's something, and I'm just looking forward to putting my head down tonight and just putting the tent up and get some rest, to be honest, because it's been a long day. Despite it being a short day of riding, it's felt like a really long day. Anyway, but I've definitely found the biggest thing for me during these trips is that I really do need a full day back on the road just to settle in. Otherwise, there's a huge part of me that's just always ticking over and running, and I'm kind of almost running ahead of myself, overthinking things, and you know, it's not a good place to be when you're riding around. Which, by the way, this page is called Papanchas, and Papanchas is the Pali word for a chattering mind, an overthinking mind. And a part of the reason why I called this page that is because obviously I'm doing this trip solo, so there is a lot of thinking over the course of this trip just being on my own, but also because when you're riding around it's often the opposite. And if you can, you know, be present when you're riding, which is obviously the better way to be, then that papanchas goes away. And there's no more chattering mind, you're just left with the road and the surroundings. I'm finally feeling better today. And it's taken me all day to get here. But look at that fucking view! Oh yeah! It feels good to be back to myself. These days are just so difficult for me, honestly. It sounds really wanky or soft or whatever, I don't know, but when my anxiety kicks in, it just kind of drags me down, and there's not a lot I can do, you know. There's not much I've ever been able to do apart from ride it out. quite literally ride out today. So apparently I'm arriving at the campsite. It looks more like a building site, but let's see what I can find. Ah, there we go. Alright, let's not fall off on this gravel, and I'll try and see if there's anything available here today. Okay. What's that, sorry? Well, that was quite an experience. So this is the first place that I've come to which not many people speak English, and obviously that's on me because I should definitely have spent some time looking at the languages at least a little bit, but I don't know any German or Swiss German. I don't know what language he was speaking to me in, and we couldn't quite understand each other. So luckily there was a guy from Holland just outside, and he directed me over here. Apparently behind this bistro I can get some money out from a nice lady apparently. So let's go and have a look. But yeah, the guy was having his dinner when I arrived. He's an old guy, must have been about 70, and was not very happy to see me arriving during his lunchtime. Apparently earlier on he was in a really good mood, but now it's very different. Success. It's a success. I'm gonna have to call Matthias and learn some German because I have no idea. I just learned Danke, which I think is thank you, but that's all I know. So I'm looking like a bit of a plonker because no one here speaks English, and I'm just kind of making shapes with my hands, hoping they understand what I'm saying. And that doesn't seem to be working either. I wonder if they get a lot of people like me and they're just impatient of people that haven't bothered to learn the language whatsoever. But back to the campsite we go, and let's see if the guy has now finished his dinner and might be in a better mood. Wow, what a camper that is. That's insane. Getting a good night's sleep tonight. I'm super happy that I bought that for tonight. Ah, really need some rest. It's surprising just how tired the heat can make you, and up here it's about 10 degrees cooler, so it's just perfect now. So I'm going to get my stuff unpacked. I've started leaving the pannier bags on because they're really hard to get off without removing the seat, and generally at a campsite I'm parked like right outside the tent, so with the disc lock on and the alarm on, if anyone messes around with it, that tends to go off very quickly, so there's just no point. Apparently as well, the weather tomorrow is supposed to be showers at like 10 in the morning, and that's it. So looks like we're going to be doing the passes tomorrow. I'm getting very mixed messages about tomorrow. I just had a local come up to me and talk about the Enfield, and then went on to warn me about the weather tomorrow. So I think what I'm going to do is get myself something from the shop. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I need toothpaste, and then sit down, look at the weather and plan what I'm going to do tomorrow, because he did suggest that I might want to find more shelter, and I really don't want to be camping out in a tropical storm like we had in Morzine, because that was just insane. So hey, so slight change of plan. I've just checked the weather for tomorrow and conferred with my new friend who's next door to me on his BMW GS, and tomorrow is supposed to be heavy rain from about 9 AM. So the plan still is I'm going to try and pack as much as I can up tonight, ready for tomorrow morning. Maybe even leave most of it on the bike. Get up super early in the morning, and I might just ride down the road to a hotel and just hope that I can then check in early in the morning, or as close to 9 as I can, dump my stuff and just chill out for the day, which might be good for me anyway. So that's the plan right now, because there's no point in me riding all these incredible roads in torrential rainstorms, because that would be stupid and probably a bit dangerous and also not fun. So that is the plan right now. Okay, so I'm in a hotel. There's also free Wi-Fi, which is handy to have right now. Okay, it's decided I'm going to get the hotel. It is about £80 for the night, including breakfast. And I now know the currency here is francs. You can tell how little research I've done. I've been so obsessed with kind of just where I'm going on the roads and stuff and how long I have, that I haven't really done much research on currencies and stuff like that. And obviously you can't always get by on using your card everywhere, so it's good to know that. And you might think I'm really dumb, but it's just something that I've overlooked, to be honest. And also the languages, which I'm slowly learning today because I've had to kind of improvise, which has been fun, but also I look a bit ridiculous being here not knowing one single word. But I'm booking the hotel right now. I feel kind of a bit guilty for spending the money, but also I just think it's worth it, given that if I go tomorrow, I'm definitely going to hit loads of rain at some point, and you know, I just think it would be worth knowing that if I go on Monday, I just have a drier day, there's some light showers, but I can enjoy a good long ride. Good evening. I am currently boiling some water so I can have a Huel, which Annabelle kindly brought over for me, and it's actually saving me right now, so thank you, Annabelle. I love you. And yeah, I'm actually feeling quite overwhelmed today. I've had a really difficult day of anxiety getting here, which kind of made the ride really difficult. It was hot as well. Now I'm here, it's much nicer, but in getting here I realised that I've not done much research on Switzerland at all, and it's mainly because I expected to be here for a day or two and then be out, you know, just breeze through Switzerland and enjoy the roads, then get out, because it's quite expensive. But I've realised now that I'm here for another night. I've got a hotel tomorrow night because of the rain, and I just don't know any of the language at all, which, you know, is kind of embarrassing in a way, but also makes it really difficult to kind of mingle in. I've been into town tonight and there's like a little festival going on, and I really wanted to kind of go mingle in and enjoy it, but I've realised, you know, it's really difficult to do that, especially when you're tired and you kind of want to get ready for tomorrow and pack stuff away and have some food. That's been difficult, and I think what it's made me realise is being on my own, it's a bit harder. I think if I was with a friend, it would be so much easier to just go in and have a good time and explore. Whereas being on my own, it's kind of been harder, and I've realised for sure it's been difficult to make decisions at times when I'm tired and don't really know what to do. For example, the hotel tonight, or not doing that and just riding tomorrow. Two minds definitely help. Just being on my own has been more difficult to kind of make a call on what to do, and I definitely have found it. For example, in town today, when I went in this afternoon, I found that if I was with a friend, it would be so much easier just to go in and kind of have a good time, have a few drinks, get some food, sit down, watch the music. Whereas on my own, I feel a little bit kind of, it's a bit more difficult. I don't know why. Just some reflections on today.
maybe it's because I'm tired and I've had a long day and I just kind of want to be ready and prepared for tomorrow. Because I would like to get up and go for a ride regardless of the weather, and then come back, stay in the hotel, and then go and enjoy the passes properly when it's dry, or at least, you know, showers, not the torrential rain or heavy rain. So yeah, that's tonight. The vlog has been all over the place today. I have no idea even if I can cut a vlog out of any of this stuff. We'll see tomorrow, but for now I'm going to enjoy some fuel and then get an early night for tomorrow. Whatever's going to happen tomorrow, I don't even know yet, but I'm very tired. And yeah, that's the end of this crazy rush.
It's open road.
Heads down because we are in for some stuff.
It's open
Got a garage. Oh guys, I am on top of the fucking world.